Hi everybody, hi every spirit, welcome very much to my YouTube channel. It's the Clouds for here to talk about the Sun in Aries and the Moon in Sagittarius. Before we do that, leave a like and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated, and thank you very much for stopping by once again. Use the links down below to catch more of my content and to know how to contact me and get readings like tarot readings, natal chart readings, and personal consultations as well. So, Moon in Sagittarius, Sun in Aries, a gift, a fire gift. So, a gift, a trine of individuality, creativity, spirituality, visions, imaginations, action, expression, and all to do with reality, as in, hold on, as in what is your reality, right? And what is reality as in the spiritual sense, as in we as spirits creating this world together, and what can we all do as spirits to expand the world, ourselves, and our circumstances, right? Because I've been talking about this recently, and there is a big difference between reality as in the earth element, as in facts, statistics, limits, boundaries, and as in what's real as in spirituality, influences, your power over reality, more deep purposes, more deep truths, wisdoms, and knowledge, right? Like astrology, like the ability that you have to attract and maintain certain states of being. How you being in a certain state of being through a long period of time will materialize that state of being into people, places, and things. Because that's really real, right? And that reality creates what we normally call reality, as in physical circumstances, limits and boundaries, responsibilities, things that we have to uphold and work on, right? So today, for the next 30 hours, because the moon is now in 15 degrees, Sagittarius, or my geographical location, and the moon takes 2 hours to move 1 degree. So for the rest 30 hours, right, we'll be still experiencing, and for the past 30 hours, we're also experiencing this energy, which is the sun, our wants, expressions, actions, and visions on cardinal fire, initiating new expressions, new visions, and it's ruled by Mars. So initiating, seeing, wanting to either do or be new passions, new motivations, new angers, and new frustrations. And remember that the sun is exalted in Aries. So you might go too far with your sun. You might go too far with your visions. You might go too far with your ego. But if you do it on the right purpose, if you do it on God's way, if you do it for all possibilities and to expand yourself, even if you commit certain mistakes, God will help you. Okay, you'll bounce back faster. You will make the consequences of your mistake will not be so impactful. Even if you act like a fool, other spirits can see where you come from, and they see, spiritually speaking, the effort. They see the energy. They see the intention. You might do a mistake. You might act like a fool, but other real spirits see that you're trying to go further, that you're trying to do more and better on your own way, on your own time, on your own space, right? And the moon in Sagittarius, so we have the need and we are reacting and responding to spiritual and through wisdom and knowledge associations. But when you talk about Sagittarius or Pisces or Cancer, and we talk about wisdom and knowledge, actually that application of differentiating spiritual reality from physical reality comes into place. Because when we talk about Sag, Pisces, and Cancer, and we talk about wisdom and knowledge, we don't talk about textbook knowledge, but that's all the knowledge from textbooks come from. We're talking about your own experiences as a spirit, and you being able to translate from your own unique experiences or from somebody else's experiences that you're able to observe universal truths or truths, things that you know will or can happen to a larger degree, to a larger audience, right? For example, when you say that going too far on your frustrations or aggressiveness can burn bridges, right? Or saying that spending too much time on your high horse will bring you down even harder, right? Like this, like nobody, or there is no book talking about it, there is no school system. And I'm not saying that's wrong or right? It's just like there is not. Those are spiritual experiences that you have to go through, or you have to learn through advices, others' testimonies, mouth to mouth, generational knowledge, right? And then when it comes to certain spiritual practices, right? Rising with the sun, going to sleep with the moon, being aware of the moon transits and doing something that relates to the moon transit so you can manifest and materialize better, so you can feel safer and transmute better and smoother, right? Like there is nobody talking about that. You have to go through that, right? So it's those types of wisdoms, like you go through a certain circumstance and situation and you learn something from it that you can apply on a larger scale. That's Jupiter, right? Because then we have Saturn or Mercury, and the wisdom and knowledge from that is like statistics, studies, science, right? Which is also wisdom and knowledge, but it's different. And the physical or more left brain wisdom and knowledge comes from a larger analysis and study time from the more spiritual, dreamy, and illusional wisdom and knowledge, right? So with the moon in Sagittarius, we have the need to associate, share, or be inspired by ours or others' testimonies, visions, creativity, individuality, and spiritual belief systems, and we are reacting and responding more, or it's easier for you to react and respond in a more passionate, fiery, and intense way to wisdom and knowledge, spirituality, you or others, because you might be seeing or you might be attracting people that they trying to connect their spirituality, or you are reflecting and pondering about how have you been or not been sharing your creativity, individuality, uniqueness, wisdom, and knowledge. So we have a gift to be more assertive, passionate, or frustrated with how we feel and attract about or and with our wisdom, knowledge, testimonies, and spiritual belief systems, right? And it's a fire trine, bro. It's going to produce some weird energies, right? Because it's fire, vision, passion, intensity, things that are not really real as in physical, but they are there. They influence you, like your imaginations. Most people will not. It will say that your imaginations are not real, but they can influence you, and they are there. It's a presence, so they are real. They're not real as like something you can grab and you can throw at somebody, but you can actually throw your imaginations at somebody. You can actually throw your esoteric visions at somebody, but you gotta know how to do that. And most people do that subconsciously without knowing that they're doing it, and then they manifest weird things. And it's only weird because they don't know that's going on. They lack in the fire department. You know what I'm saying? But also, this type of reality or this type of notion will become more and more normal in society because people are starting to understand that their physical reality comes from somewhere, right? And for me, and what I see other people, or what sparks actually also Sun in Aries, Moon in Sagittarius, sparking through unique actions and new feeling towards spirituality, for an example. And what sparks a lot that in people is that they see people from the same circumstances, from the same birth positions, from the same neighborhood, going in different ways. Even though they went to the same school, similar grades, similar household, but they go through different perspectives and they go to different parts in life, for an example. Or like people that, for example, both two people, one of them both smoke, but one manifests a disease and the other don't. Or one person smokes more than the other, and the person that smokes more has no diseases, they're healthy as hell, and the person that smokes less actually has a disease. So that it's not just like physical facts and physical things that can be observed in literality. They don't explain anything, everything, I mean. And sometimes they only arise more questions. And people are starting to understand, to see that. People are starting to be like, wait a minute. Why is that person that smokes more than the other person has no disease, and that person, they even stopped smoking years ago, but now they have this disease over there? People are starting to, like, not question as in science, but question as in there is something else in there. And that's very important. That's why I'm here as well. That's why people from my soul group are here. Shout out to Daria. Shout out to Archangel Uriel, for an example. That's why we are here. To not only say to you that that's real, but to show you. Through us, we know that's real. And we do it. And we show it to you in video content, right? Or through readings, or through posts on social media, through things that we do in in real life. And then we show you through our achievements and whatnot. And most importantly, then what we're doing, it's how we're doing. Shout out to Uriel, he really says that. And you know you're really spiritual when you see how deep that goes, right? Because you can be doing the same thing as 100 different people, right? But if you have a purpose, right? If you have a real purpose, it will feel way better to you doing it. And when others see you doing it, it will feel better to them as well. And not only they will feel inspired to do whatever they want to do, even if you fail to succeed, they will support you until you succeed. Because their and your purpose is not only to succeed, but also to grow and fulfill the path until you succeed. And most people, that's what they need inspiration from, to keep on the track, to be on the track. You only win the race if you're on the track. You only will win the football match if you're on the field, right? And most people have troubles in being there long enough until they succeed. Because actually, most of the examples that are shown to people of successful people are people that were born into rich families, or people that somehow got into successful businesses. And why do I say somehow? Because they never show how they did it. They never show how they were before the success. And specifically about people that are born into rich families, you are never exposed to how the family became rich, right? So people really like the example of building something, because back in the day people were building nations. Today people are building insecurities, right? And there's nothing wrong with insecurities, but when you start to demand others to justify and support your insecurities, something is wrong. Because insecurities are not to be demanded and justified upon, they are being used to fulfill them, balance them, do something creative out of your insecurity, right? And for example, not hating on trans people or whatever, but because most like that came from somewhere, and real trans people, they don't want you to respect their pronouns and shit like that. They just do it. Like they just do it. They don't care. They just want to be whatever they want to be, right? But then we have these other people that they demand you to respect their pronouns, right? So they want you to respect their insecurity. So, and that ain't shit, because first respect is earned. So you gotta earn it. So, like, and if you are a strong spirit, others will respect you without you demanding it. You'll just do it spiritually. They will see you as a real spirit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we gotta do using these energies right now, is using the sun in Aries to express your testimonies, moon in Sagittarius, to express your spiritual belief system, moon in Sagittarius, to express your spiritual associations, moon in Sagittarius, and to bring forward your visions that you are attracting through the need that you have to be more spiritual, to know more about reality, as in spirit creates reality, and to expand on it. And when you bring it forward in a powerful way, in a sure way, you open doors, you open portals, you create sparks. So even somebody, they might not know anything about spirituality, they might think you weird, but they see something there. They see something they never seen before, and they get interested. They might never talk to you. They might talk to you in 3 months. They might come to you a couple years later. But you as a spirit initiated that process because you were expanding, and they saw that, so they started that as well, and you'll receive interest because their spirit, right? They don't forget that you help them expand. So when they expand as well, they will kind of become your neighbor, right? And they will give you salt when you need, or they will give you some sugar when you run out of sugar, right? Because spiritually speaking, you were in the same area. They expand your neighborhood, right? And if you are insecure about your spirituality, about your creativity, about going for your dreams and illusions, because sometimes you gotta go after an illusion until you realize it's an illusion, and then you can really go for your dreams. But if you don't go after your illusion, you have this unfulfilled energy that will carry you over your entire life. I've met people in their 60s, 40s, 50s that they have these unfulfilled energies, and they're stable. They have a stable life, family, kids, and whatever, but they still have this unfulfilled energy. And in some cases, it created health issues, physical health issues, because basically, especially chronic diseases that you develop, not like you were born with, that's another storyline, but chronic diseases that you develop as you live on, they come from spiritual unsatisfaction, and then your spirit is creating fluids and cells that want to go one way, very simply put, and you are going the other way. So the cells that want that new way, or they want that spiritual fulfillment, they will fight to expand within your current system. So that will create war within you, right? and that can be like in arthrosis, as in you don't move well. It can be things like cancers, so your system is not working well. It can be things like Alzheimer's, so your ability to hold on to things is not working well. But all that comes from spiritual unfulfillment in specific areas and in specific ways and in different degrees. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it comes from all the genes and that DNA and that toxin or that protein. But where all those things come from? The spirit. Everything comes from the spirit. So why a person with Alzheimer created that condition and another person didn't? Right? Because they were doing things, they were doing life, they were existing in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Facts, esoteric neighbors, welcome to Mysteria. And the esoteric neighbors is all about you being in the same space, you being in the same frequency and vibration. Right? I really like to give this example. I might be at home, I don't know, playing a video game, cooking, whatever, right? And I get frustrated. And you are like in the other side of the world, stuck in traffic, and you're frustrated because you're stuck in traffic. Right? We are now esoteric neighbors. Because we are both in Mars, quote unquote. We're both in Mars. Because I'm frustrated and you are frustrated. I'm like in Portugal, you are in fucking Australia. We are now esoteric neighbors. While we are frustrated, we are in esoteric neighbors because we are in the same frequency, in the same vibration for two different things. Because I dropped the bowl while cooking, or I'm being tower rushed by Mongols on Age of Empires 4 or something, and you stuck in traffic, right? But we both frustrated. We're both in the same space. You know what I'm saying? So Star, welcome to the stream. Real shit, man. 4, 5, 6D bent into the 3D. You better believe it. It really is. It really is. From a larger space, a larger dimension, we create minor dimensions. You know, it's always space within space. These things gotta come from somewhere. These diseases, mental diseases, physical diseases, even social diseases, right? The inability to express yourself correctly, that comes from somewhere. And we have to understand where that comes from. And that's where science is kind of lacking. Like, I like science. I'm a science man, quote unquote. But they really lack in the health department in certain areas because we're like, oh, this protein is causing that disease. But why though? Where does it come from? Why the same people have the same diet, they both smoke, but one has the disease and the other don't? Because they do it in different ways. They're creating different fluids. They're creating different frequencies and vibrations. You know what I'm saying? And look, you can study at that, right? You don't have the machines. Oh, wait a second. Yes, you do. Oh, the card Nine of Wands come out from the deck, bro. I'm holding the deck while speaking because I was about to do a tarot reading and I started rambling. Fucking Nine of Wands came out flying. Expanding your visions. Expanding your ability to express yourself. Expanding your wisdom and knowledge. Expanding your creativity, bro. Right? It's not about what, it's about how. Real shit. It is. Because it's all about how you move spiritually. And how you move creates the physical form. Because your body, basically, it's your spirit always moving in this pattern. Not just your spirit, it's your spirit and all the other spirits that are following it as an example. That's how everything happens in real life. Like somebody creates a cult or a coin or a YouTube channel and then other people follow it. They follow that idea, that thing, that coin, that ideology, that entertainment gains traction and it creates a shape and form. It creates a movement. So it happens the same with your body. And your body was created through the chakras. And what are the chakras? There is a lot of misunderstanding, but very basically, very simply, the chakras are spaces where your spirit spent the most time. That's why the 7 main chakras are associated with organs and endocrine glandules, right? Because your spirit spent so much time in there, it created the best juices, the best fluids, the best flesh, right? And in one place, there is a certain frequency and vibration. So specific spirits were attracted there, and they built a certain type of city. In your heart chakra, in your heart space, they built a jungle, for an example. Then on your solar plexus, they built like a more Middle Eastern country. Or on your throat chakra, they built more like a Nordic city, right? Like Denmark, a shit like that. It's a bit more cold, but it's more progressive, right? It's more open. So the chakras are not things. I mean, they become things after your spirit spends a lot of time in it, but the chakras are basically just the space where your spirit spent the most time in, spiraling around, right? And also, real quick, before I go into the astrology, real quick, that's how also, for example, when you get sick, like those light sickness where your nose is running, or your eyes are a bit inflamed, or you coughing and you have some mucus within you, it's because the spirits within you are changing how they move and how they vibe, so they are creating new fluids. And those new fluids don't mix well with the old fluids. It's all about density. You ever seen two different oceans not mixing together? Density. You ever seen oil not mixing with water? Density. So what happens within our bodies, they mix to a certain degree, but they don't mix completely. So the old tissue, the old mucus, or the new one, needs to come out because there is too much mucus and they don't mix well because they are on a different density, because they came from different frequencies and vibrations. So they need to come out so your system can work properly. But if you spend a lot of time in defense, that disease, that simple disease, will become worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the chakras getting calcified is because there was not enough movement, there was not refreshment, there was not, like, your spirit spent too much time in one chakra, so that was too much pressure, and because it spent too much time in one place, by default, it didn't spend enough time on the other places. So the chakras can get calcified or decalcified. What does that mean? Calcified is when you spend too much time in the same space and you create too much garbage, right? It's like what happens in a city. In a city, there is too much people, a lot of garbage, a lot of buildings, rats, smokes, too much concentration. And then you have other parts like Portugal and Spain are very much like this. You have like certain cities full of people, and then most of the country is actually non-populated. The same, a bit more extreme in Spain, but also happens in Portugal. And with the chakras, it's the same thing. Too much time in one space, garbage, roads, buildings, concrete. The thing gets stuck, it gets heavy. Then you don't spend enough time on the other chakras. They get decalcified, as in they lose structure, they lose vibe, they lose presence. So you can't use them as well. So then you need to come back there and spark that shit. That's why most people change lives or change their ways when they get scared, because they were spending too much time in, for example, on the head chakra. That's why men lose more air than women as well, because they spend way more time in this chakra and they calcify it. It becomes dry because the fluids have no space to be more fluid, because it's too much of the old fluid, too much of other shit that wasn't supposed to be here, just too much pressure. So then air doesn't grow as well, but that's for another reason, right? So they're spending too much time on the head chakra, and then they get scared with a situation, and their spirit, oh shit, it moves somewhere else, and it goes to another chakra. Oh, I have to change my ways. I've seen Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because they were spending too much time in one space, and then something happened. Oh shit! And then whoo, they went straight to the root chakra. Oh shit! Now they want to buy a car. They want to buy a Ferrari. They're gonna go to Miami. All that the different shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Woo! Just like Michael Jackson. Woo! Almost like self mode energy. Yep. Yes, you get too comfortable in one place. You get too cozy, and then you don't want to move. Yeah. And that's how crystals are created as well. Yes, crystals. And that's why scientists are now discovering that crystals can hold more memory than what we are using right now, because crystals are basically a more sophisticated way to create structure, right? Because you have rocks, and then you have crystals, or you have dirt, and then you have crystals. Crystals is a better, sophisticated way to create structure, so it can hold light, it can hold information more and better, right? Simply as that. But it's also, then you have, why is a crystal green and why is a crystal yellow? Why is a crystal triangular and why is a crystal square? Because they spent different amounts of time, the spirits, not the crystals, they spent different amounts of time moving in a certain vibe and in a certain pattern. So then that's why we have crystals and gems as spells and shit like that. They don't do shit for you. They just help you remember. When you look at them, when you touch them, your spirit does that or remember those patterns. And then it's easier for you. For example, when you use a green crystal, it's easier for you to grow or be sustainable because your spirit sees or remembers itself of how that shit was created and he can do it. When you see a yellow crystal, it helps you feel a bit more relaxed or confident because the spirits that made that crystal were vibing in that way. But the crystal doesn't do shit. The crystal just, hey, it's there and it's like it reminds you. Of course, you can charge it and it becomes a bit more active, right? So it helps you a bit more, it helps you faster. But basically, on the physical sense, it's like they trap in light, and light is repeating the patterns that the spirits did, and helps you remember how that crystal was created, and helps you remember what frequency and vibration, what patterns were being formulated over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, gotta use all the chakras so the Kundalini can spiral through them all. Yeah. And for an example, if you want to be successful, you want to focus on one or two areas, right? Without putting all the eggs in one basket, right? So what you do for a living or for a creative purpose, you know, okay, this uses most of these chakras. So then when you take a break, you're going to use something else. You're going to do something else, right? For example, I spend a lot of time on the computer. I spend a lot of time sit down. So I make sure to stretch and I make sure to go travel or go to nature whenever they off. Because I spend too much time using these higher chakras. Now I gotta make sure to go and meet some lower chakras. But then it's different because I have Aquarius element in the 5th house, so I use a lot of my sacral chakra in the 11th and 5th house as well. But that's why you need a tarot reading and natal chart reading from your boy Esoteric Cloud Surfer. Let's go. It's like a mind state that helps you that you can take with you. It's like a pocket mind state. Yeah, and then it can attract other spirits, that the other spirits laying around with no body, with no shape, and they see the yellow crystal and they see the vibe. They be like, bro, I want to be a part of that. And they go into the crystal, or they go around the crystal, and then they see your system and be like, I want to be a part of that. And they go to your system carrying that vibe. They're going to teach the ways of Jesus Christ because it's a yellow crystal, right? And then your body will replicate that as well. Because your body is a crystal. I know people are like crystal, but it's like a flesh and bones. 2 facts. You have crystals in your ears that help you gain balance. Your bones, when burned, turn into crystals as well. And if you think about it, you have a lot of iron, magnesium, all these metallic crystal type stuff in your fluids. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And if you freeze water, it becomes a crystal-like ice. You know what I'm saying? So we are a big-ass crystal. You know what I'm saying? That's for another one. That's for another one. Yeah, water crystallizes under pressure, and we are made mostly out of water. Real shit. Real shit. And that's why future technology will be all about crystals, right? Easy, right? Future technology will be all about crystals. And then people that make fun of people that are into crystals and gems, they're gonna be like, oh shit, these guys were right all along. Welcome to 2024, bitch. Spirituality, no. Reality coming back to spirituality. Because basically, we were spirits with no structure, right? Then we created more and more structure and we made reality, Earth. But then reality got too much separated from spirituality, and I'm here to bring those back. Because reality came out of spirituality. I was a science kid, bro. I was in 5th grade explaining a fellow classmate how love was a chemical reaction. I was lost in the 5th grade. Not anymore. I was lost in science as a kid. Alright? I was lost in science as a kid. Then I grew up and I became a spiritualist. Spirit. We are spirits. Even scientists are spirits. Even scientists are into spirituality. They are spiritual. They are a spirit in a mind that got lost. Boom. And all they do is explaining spirituality in a physical way. And the only reason why science can't keep up, it's because they rely too much on machines that cannot measure the spirit. And matter of fact, there is a lot of scientific studies that talk about spirituality and shit like that. They're just not mainstream. I mean, one of the most mainstream cases of spirituality, but people don't understand that, is the observer event. When one electron is a wave, when somebody is looking, and when somebody is not looking, it's a particle, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, if that doesn't prove that everything comes from the spirit, I don't know what it does. Another thing, water exposed to different frequencies and vibration creates different patterns. So if we are water, and if you are exposed to a kind vibration, our water creates specific materials and specific fluids, the influences, the vibes affect us. So there is plenty of science that proves spirituality, it's just not mainstream yet. You know what I'm saying? No, quartz keeps time, but it's just like I know what you mean, but it's just like because you have clocks that are not made with quartz, like atomic clocks are made with cesium or something atoms, and 1 second is one vibe of a cesium atom, you know. So yeah, yeah, they say that before the Big Bang was nothing. I have a video about this on the channel. If if spirit is no thing, no shape and form, and before the Big Bang was nothing, here we go. Everything comes from spirituality, comes from the spirit, and every time you create a new thought and idea, every time you come, spiritually speaking, every time you vibe with somebody, that's a Big Bang. Because there was not, my video talks about that, you can check on my channel, that there was not one Big Bang, there is a lot of Big Bangs coming to existence. Every time you have a new thought, every time you are inspired, every time you are excited, that's a Big Bang. Every time you're fucking with something physically or spiritually, that's a Big Bang. There was nothing, just space, and it got fulfilled. It created something. There we go. There we go. Easy. There is no escape. There is no escape. Everything comes from the spirit, and we are the spirit. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You can't. Everything goes back to no thing, not no thing as nothing, no thing, no specificality. All possibilities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the spirit. No, the Big Bang is true. The Big Bang existed, but there was something before it. Yeah, that's true. The real movers of the world, they know about astrology. They know about spirituality. They do it in their own lost way, but they do it. You know what I'm saying? So let's go into spirituality, into astrology, I mean, and tarot. Let's take a card for today's energy, guys. Moon in Aries, Moon in Sag, Sun in Aries, reversed Six of Pentacles. So we are paying more attention, bringing more power and control over our own physical circumstances. Okay, taking authority, but it's a misunderstanding because we should be, or we need be a bit more space, we need more time, and we need a bit more fluidity, but now it's time to take the chance. Now it's time to do the job. Just don't go too focused, don't be too grim, don't be too hard. Let some space to breathe, let some space to travel, and you'll be alright. That's it, that's all. And the misunderstanding will come from too much pressure, too much attention, too much control, too much authority. But you need those things, but also remember that everything comes from the spirit. I hate the moon in Sag, the need for space, the need for all possibilities, right? By the way, guys, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, follow the links down below, book a reading and service with me, personal consultation, just talking, let's go. How to use today's energy to achieve all possibilities in the most efficient way, let's check it out. There we go. And it is pure white dragon from Orion. So basically what this means is go to war, if it is God's war, if you're fighting for all possibilities, if you're fighting for ascension, if you're fighting for the ability to expand, go to war. Other than that, shut the fuck up. Keep it to yourself. That's it. Pure white, if it is a pure cause, a clear cause, what is white? Organized desires, organized light. What is darkness? Mixed desires, non-organized light. So if you have a purpose, if it makes sense, and you know where it can take you, and if that place is all possibilities, go to war. Orion. If not, shut the fuck up. Keep it to yourself. That's it. Bro, I was rambling for 40 minutes. That's it. Aquarius stellium in the 5th house, talking about some spiritual shit in the moon in Sagittarius. Mission accomplished. 40 minutes of pure wisdom and knowledge. Bro, I thought it was 10. I thought it was 10 minutes. I swear. I thought it was 10 minutes. It was 40. That's how you know you're on spiritual time. When you're on demon time, you think an hour passed, 10 minutes. When you are on spiritual time, you think 10 minutes passed, 40 passed. Your spirit is expanding. Your spirit is having a blast. Let's go. By the way, guys, if you want a reading from me, use the email, the IG, or the Discord on the links down below. Now, let's talk about astrology real quick. We have Sun in Aries. Oh yeah, actually I don't do this in a long time. Let's do the degrees reading. The degrees reading is important as well. I don't like to do it like a lot because then it sounds repetitive, but let's do it right now. Sun in Aries, 10 degrees. It means we have our individuality and the ability to expand in our new actions, passions, motivations, aggression, and frustration. But in physicality, you might descend, you might lose, you might detach from something because you are expanding, being yourself into a new space. So first you go into a new space, that you create the new shit. So the new shit is coming, but the old shit is going. So you might lose something, you might lose a feeling, a desire, or one ability, but you are going into a new ability, to be yourself, to express yourself, and to do yourself in a better, more passionate, and frustrated way if necessary. Moon in Sagittarius, feeling the need to share, associate, and be inspired by yours and others' feelings, emotions, imaginations, visions, wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual belief systems. Venus, 23-degree Pisces, relating your overall awareness of your internal world and the reality behind the world, aka spirituality, in a more emotional, personal, and deep way, aka being more connected, being more emotional and attached to spiritual relationships. Mars, 6 degrees Pisces, being more powerful, egotistical, and authoritarian about your passions, motivations, anger, and frustrations when it comes to creativity, personal interests, and insecurities that come from spirituality, dreams, illusions, or imaginations. Next, Mercury. Mercury, 27 degrees Aries, communicating, relating, separation, or inspiration to go to new places through spiritual but perhaps not logically sufficient thoughts, ideas, and imaginations, and that can lead to elevation, that can lead to an upgrade and uprising in more unique, individual, creative, passionate, intense, and frustrated thoughts and ideas. Jupiter, 17 degrees Taurus, being unique and individual when it comes to separating or being inspired, separating from old stuff and being inspired from new stuff. Okay, spending a lot of time cleaning the house, spending a lot of time in a specific space when it comes to expand your routine, business, and practices in order to obtain wisdom and knowledge to help you be more sufficient, more safe and secure when it comes to receive and maintain love, validation, profit, and security. Saturn, 13 degrees Pisces, being more unique in how you perceive your awarenesses and others' awarenesses when it comes to real networking, communication, and organizations from the purpose of the organization, the spirituality behind it, the influence behind it. My bad. Then, Neptune, 27 degrees Pisces, communicating new spaces about grand illusions, imaginations, dreams, and nightmares that can lead to ascension, or it can go too deep into some La La Land stuff. Uranus, 20 degrees Taurus, relating new ideas and new spaces when it comes to change, rebelliousness, and uniqueness when it comes to fixed stability, routines, and patterns. Pluto, 1 degree Aquarius, initiating the new age where you and everybody will transform themselves in order to be more unique, more fixed, stubborn, changing, opposing, or rebellious with their own way of thinking, communicating, analyzing, and having structure, and communicating, broadcasting that structure. Alright? Then, moon reading, moon in Sagittarius, trining the sun in Aries, a gift to be and express in a more unique, creative, and strong way the testimonies, feelings, wisdom, and knowledge coming from the Sag moon. Or just going for the spiritual connection, going for the spiritual and wise associations. Moon in Sag, trining Mercury in Aries, a gift to think, communicate, and analyze in more spiritual, wise, and La La Landish terms, right? Or the gift to communicate your testimonies, the gift to hear others' testimonies too. Moon in Sag, squaring Venus in Pisces, learning how to relate, compromise, and love spirituality, dreams, illusions, imagination, and creativity in a deeper way, in a more caring way, in a more spiritual way. It's the same thing, but deeper. It's the same thing, but with more care, with more respect, with more compromise. Tony, respect the family. You know what I'm saying? Moon in Sagittarius, squaring Mars in Pisces, learning how to be more passionate and more serious about spirituality, connection, creativity, and bringing your dreams into reality via spiritual associations, visions, or wisdom and knowledge. Moon in Sagittarius in conjuncting Jupiter in Taurus. Weird feelings about expanding your reality, your physical circumstances through spirituality, wisdom, and knowledge, but how else you gonna do? You can work really hard, you can be on time every day, you take 20 years to get a promotion, you get that new idea, you get that individuality, that spiritual belief system, you can make a business real quick. You know what I'm saying? Tony, yeah. Moon in Sagittarius, squaring Saturn in Pisces, learning how to see and understand the visions and the spirits behind reality, learning how to feel comfortable and feel excited and inspired by reality, by the world, right? Because if you're really spiritual, you can see the spirituality behind football, behind movies, behind celebrities. And if you're really spiritual, you can separate the flunk out shit from the spirituality, from what's really going on, and that can inspire you. But first, you have to learn how to see it. Because when you talk about spirituality and the subconscious, the moon is the sun. The moon allows you to see, not see, but see those things. Be aware of them. So moon in Sag allows you to be aware of those things more clearly, more directly. So moon in Sag, squaring Saturn in Pisces, learning how to be aware in a more clear and bright way about the deep spirituality in the world, structures, organizations, government, and big things, big entities in the world. Moon in Sagittarius, misunderstanding Uranus in Taurus, feeling weird about changes or unique scenarios when it comes to fixed security, stability, and profit. Moon in Sagittarius, squaring Neptune in Pisces, learning how to feel lighter, more inspired, and motivated about grand illusions, imaginations, dreams, or nightmares. And lastly, but not least, Moon in Sagittarius, sextiling Pluto in Aquarius, an opportunity to feel inspired, wise, knowledgeable, or spiritual, or expansive about the new age, about the new transformational shift that deals with being unique in your own way to think, communicate, analyze, and having structure. That's everything for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, use the links down below, see more videos on the channel, check more of my content through the LinkTree, and check my beautiful partner as well, Daria, using her LinkTree in the description down below. And until the next time, I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions, a whole bunch of individuality, creativity, and responsibility as well. Use these Sun in Aries, Moon in Sag to expand your feelings and your wisdom and knowledge about spirituality by taking action and being your goddamn self. Always remember to believe in all possibilities, believe in yourself, and always, but always, always, the best way to be is to be your goddamn self. Till the next time, Esoteric Cloud Surfer, surfing out. See you soon.